Debt is money one person, organization, or government owes to another person, organization, or government. Typically, the person who borrows the money has a limited amount of time to pay back that money with interest, an additional amount you pay to use borrowed money. Another way of looking at debt is that you are essentially taking money from your future self or your future earnings, because in the future, you and you alone will have to pay back the money. It is therefore important to understand that not all debt is created equal. Some deserve all the worry it induces, whilst others should let you dream of a more financially secure future. Borrowing money is part of most of our lives, and being in debt is not necessarily a bad thing. It can help you improve your credit score, achieve your goals in life, and even increase your money. The key is to manage your debt so it doesn't get out of control.
The important thing is to understand the difference between good debt and bad debt. What's the difference? A simple rule about debt is that if it increases your net worth or has future value, it's good debt. If it doesn't do that and you don't have cash to pay for it, it's bad debt.
What's considered good debt? Good debt allows you to manage your finances more effectively, to leverage your wealth, to buy things that you need, and to manage unforeseen emergencies. Examples of good debt are taking out the mortgage, buying things that can save you time and money, buying essential items, investing in yourself by borrowing for more education, or to consolidate debt to get better terms. Each may put you in a bind initially, but you'll be better off in the long run for having borrowed the money.
Taking out a mortgage. The king of all debt is mortgages. For one thing, you have to live somewhere. For another, you might as well live somewhere that increases in value almost every year. Now, mortgage debt is often considered as good debt because it's an investment in a tangible asset, a property. A mortgage enables individuals to purchase a home or property that they may not be able to afford outright while building equity in the property over time. Now, the property can also appreciate in value, which can generate additional wealth over the long term. Additionally, mortgage interest is tax deductible in many countries, which can provide a financial benefit for homeowners. Moreover, since mortgage interest rates are typically lower than other types of consumer loans, such as credit cards or personal loans, mortgage debt can be a more affordable way to borrow money. Now that's quality debt.
Getting a student loan. If you want a good education and need some help paying for it, you have plenty of company. The student loan industry is expanding extremely fast. To give you an idea about the scale, in America, student loan debt ranks number 2 on the scale of consumer debt, behind only mortgages. Student debt is more than double credit card debt at $756.3 billion. It's very important to make sure that you take out a student loan for the right reason and for the right course or degree.
A survey done in America found that 52% of millennials felt that their loans weren't worth it. However, according to Smart Asset Research from 2018, the average annual salary of a US worker with a bachelor's degree was $59,124, with an unemployment rate of 2.8%. For those with only a high school diploma, it was $35,256, with a 5.4% unemployment rate. Investing in yourself will boost your confidence in your abilities and have a positive impact on your self-esteem. It also equips you with new knowledge and skills, and focusing on your personal development will help you get to know yourself better.
Small business loan. If you want to get really wealthy, your chances are much better if you start your own company and work for yourself. To be an entrepreneur is extremely difficult, but also rewarding. Make sure you have a good plan, good mentors that can help you through the journey, and also a few months of emergency savings. Small business loans are tougher to get because they are riskier to the lender. Almost 1/3 of small businesses fail to survive their first 2 years, according to Small Businesses Administration. But if you have enough ambition, savvy, and luck, borrowing money to start your own business could be the best investment you will ever make.
What is bad debt? Spotting bad debt isn't all that difficult. If it loses value the moment you take ownership, it's bad debt. Unfortunately, that describes many of life's basic necessities like clothing, automobiles, and that bad boy 80-inch UHD TV you just absolutely need to watch the soccer or rugby games on. Now, if you can't pay cash for them, you should at least consider settling for off-brand clothes, a gently pre-owned car, and maybe a 54-inch TV.
Here are more examples of bad debt. Personal loans. Personal loans can be either a valuable financial tool if used responsibly, or an internal debt trap which can increase your financial distress. The rising cost of living and salaries that did not keep up with inflation placed many families under pressure to cover additional expenses while still affording the basics. When this happens, they turn to personal loans, credit cards, and unsecured loans, and this is where this concern of a debt spiral becomes real.
South African consumers' reliance on debt was also highlighted by local analytics consultancy 80/20 that found that 2/3 of average middle-class salary is used to pay off debt. If you paid 230 Rand a month off on your credit card and you keep this up for 5 years at 15% interest, you will roughly pay 4,000 Rand interest over this period. Even small amounts at high interest over a long period will make a big difference. Remember the rule, for luxuries, if you cannot buy it twice with cash, you cannot afford it. If possible, stay away from personal loans.
Car loans. Financing a car generally is considered bad debt because unless it's an old school Datsun Bakkie or some other collectible that appreciates over time, car values drop by 20% as soon as you drive it out of the box. On the other hand, automobile interest rates are comparatively low, and if you need a car to get to work, well, a guy has to earn a living. The most financially prudent move is to avoid splurging on a Range Rover when a Hyundai will do.
How do you know you have too much debt? As discussed in our financial ratio section, the debt-to-income ratio is a great metric to determine whether you have acceptable levels of debt. Add all your monthly debt payments and divide them by your monthly gross income, not just by your take-home pay, to get your debt-to-income ratio. For instance, if you have a 15,000 Rand monthly mortgage, 2,000 Rand car payment, and pay 3,000 Rand a month for credit cards and other bills, your monthly debt is 20,000 Rand. If your gross monthly income is 40,000 Rand, it means your debt-to-income ratio is 50%.
It also means you deserve your sleepless nights. Anything over 43% debt-to-income ratio is a red flag to potential lenders. Evidence suggests that borrowers with a higher ratio are more likely to have problems making monthly payments. In most cases, you can't get a mortgage if your ratio is above 43%. You should be aiming at a debt-to-income ratio under 35%.
And finally, why does it make sense to borrow smarter? Staying on top of your debt situation and following good borrowing habits can pay off in the following 3 ways. 1. Reduce stress. Worrying about where you're going to get money to make your monthly credit card or other debt repayments can seriously be stressful. By taking control of your finances, including your debt, you can feel better about your situation and improve your quality of life. The American Psychological Association has found that stress is linked to the 6 leading causes of death in the US: heart disease, cancer, lung disease, accidents, cirrhosis of the liver, and suicide. So investing in your financial health and reducing stress automatically means investing in your bodily health.
Number 2, more money in your pocket. Debt can be expensive, particularly if it's from loan sharks or certain credit cards that charge very high interest. Taking control of your borrowing will ultimately leave you with more money to save for the future or to spend on the things that are important to you.
Number 3, progress towards your financial goals. When your finances are in order, you can focus on working towards things that you care about. Putting less of your money towards debt repayments and more towards your savings also lets you build an emergency fund to get you through any tough times, and help you to save for retirement.